everyone, it's Kobunny, and today I'll be presenting my thoughts on the top-down roguelike shooter Neon Chrome. I'm always looking for games like this as I enjoy shooters, but I'm utterly terrible when they're first person, and this promised fast-paced gameplay in a gorgeous neon setting. The basic backstory is that the city is under the command of a draconian overseer, the mocking voice that haunts the player through the procedurally generated levels until he faced them down in the last room. Set against the backdrop of neon lights and deep blues, the first thing that caught my attention was the music. Seriously, get a load of this. The in-game music is fantastic. I'm a complete sucker for synth, and I would even put a couple of tracks on par with Hotline Miami too. Speaking of, the similarity with Hotline Miami when it comes to gameplay shouldn't be understated. Though the level design philosophy is different, the tactics and strategy required of the player are of equal measure, with perhaps less punishment on failure. Neon Chrome shouldn't be underestimated though. Explosives in particular will knock you for 6 and take off a good chunk of health. As well they should, because blasts are very well signposted, and it's not often you'll be stuck in a situation with no escape, not if you've planned correctly anyway. Upon starting the game, you seat yourself in the immersion chamber and are given a choice of 3 playable characters. This is one of several similarities with Rogue Legacy, as you will see. The characters you can choose from will be a random assortment of job, weapon, secondary weapon and so on, with each job offering further perks such as the hacker can open locks with a robot assistant or a riot cop with a shield. The hacker is the best job, just so you guys know. As you ascend the tower to the Overseer, randomly generated levels greet you, punctuated by boss rooms every 5 levels, and occasionally with an extra curveball thrown in, such as the entire level's been covered in mines, or suddenly 20 heavily armed guards descend upon you. These random extras certainly keep things interesting, and in a game where repeatedly going through the same levels is to be expected, it's definitely appreciated. Once you reach the boss battle and upon defeating them, you'll open up the next floor which is unlocked thenceforth for repeat runs. Within the levels themselves there are drops of credits, usually accompanied by energy pickups. There are no ammo drops in game, reloading is necessary but automated, however energy is important to the secondary weapon, and once you've burned through the blue circles on the bottom left, you'll need to stock up on energy to continue using it. Loot crates contain credits and energy but also random weapons from the assortment you've already unlocked, and very rarely, a new weapon entirely. If you're lucky enough to get a weapon, you can drop it and replace your current one. Sometimes an upgrade is clear, all the stats will be green, but more often than not, your current playstyle will mean the choice whether to take or leave it is a difficult one. There are also healing bays, though these are few and far between. The onus in this game is on player skill and strategy. Weapon upgrade systems can also be found, and these will upgrade the rank of weapon drop you'll find they're on. This is a persistent upgrade and are not weapon specific, so get as many of these as you can find. Upon death, you return to the remote immersion chamber, where you spend the hard-earned credits on upgrades to health, damage, energy, etc. I found, rather infuriatingly, that I wasn't getting anywhere with my first few characters. But, and this is a big one, the moment I started considering giving up for a while, I advanced enough to clear the floor, massacre the boss and all of its tiny spider minions. Even with the elements of luck in play, that's some pretty impressive pacing. Unlike, for instance, Rogue Legacy, which had me bashing my head against the table in frustration due to bad run after bad run. You can pay to increase your luck stat, which increases the drop rate of good quality and new weapons, in turn ramping up the progression of the player. The top chamber of the starting area contains purchasable items, which will then appear for all of the random characters in your next run. Even further upgrades can be found with the augments, which are slot-based buffs, which you add to by visiting upgrade stations throughout the levels. As you are probably more than well enough aware by now, there are so many different ways to upgrade your character, on a par with faster than light, in as much as you can't really plan ahead, but the more you play, the higher the chance of something useful dropping is. Think of it like the Zerg rush of weapon systems. One more thing, this game is controller capable, but it's really not recommended for accuracy. Overall, this game is incredibly enjoyable, taking elements from a wide variety of fantastic games, mixing them together against a fabulous 80s backdrop with a killer soundtrack. And that's it from me. Please leave any comments you have below, and please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoy my reviews. As I say, it really does help me out. Anyway, until next time.